James Bondurant. I am one of the load masters. We fly in the back of the airplane, ensure the safety of the passengers in the back.
This is a J. Is this the last of the line, the last of the modifications on the B-25?
Correct. That's correct. This was the last of the models of B-25.
And I think they built about 4,000 of these?
10,000.
10,000?
10,000.
And how many are flying?
About 30 worldwide. The Commemorative Air Force has 2 of them. And of course, the Commemorative Air Force is the only way you can go for a ride.
And of course, this is the Mitchell.
Correct.
As in Billy Mitchell.
That's absolutely correct.
And there may not have been the same U.S. Air Force if it hadn't been for Billy Mitchell, I understand.
Would probably not have been one, yeah. A historical reference is they court-martialed him, demonstrating that you were able to sink a ship with an airplane. He proved that, and so as a reward, they court-martialed.
They didn't like that.
They didn't like that. Battleship admirals didn't like that.
This is a pretty sturdy plane. I read about one that got pretty banged up, and the airframe was actually bent, and they had to kind of fly it sideways to compensate, but it was still flying.
Yeah,
so one of the hardy planes.
She's a very tough bird.
Yeah.
Known in the aviation world as an extremely durable airplane.
They all have a lovely woman on the nose, or most of them. Where did that start? Where did that come from?
Well, when we got the airplane, it took us 28 years to restore it. So when we first got it, we disassembled it down to absolute bare bones and stacked the parts in the back of the hangar. We put a lean-to on the side of the hangar. The hangar had the B-17 in it, so we put a lean-to on the side of the building and cleaned up the parts out under the shade. So she was made in the shade, and then we switched the spelling on the made part. The model is one of our docents in our museum. She's blonde on one side and brunette on the other side, so that everybody is happy.
This one has actually seen warfare action, correct?
That's correct, exactly. She was stationed in Corsica in late 1944, November and December of 44. She flew 15 bomb missions into Italy and a couple missions into Yugoslavia. She was also a part of the Bremer Pass engagement.
I also read that these engines are the best way to turn aviation fuel into noise.
Yes. That's extremely accurate. It's a noisy aircraft, there's no question about it.
Some of the flight crews actually ended up with hearing loss.
There was some of that. A lot less than nowadays with the jets, but yeah, there was some.
You don't want a quiet plane. That's boring.
No.
The other thing I should say is it has 2 Wright Cyclone 1,700 horsepower engines. It has a top speed of 270 miles per hour. It has a range of 1,350 miles fully loaded. Fully loaded, it's just over 41,000 pounds. Empty is just over 21,000 pounds. We fly at about 23,000 pounds, so she flies like a fighter. And depending on how Spike wants to handle it, you may feel it.